All right, man. I'll let you start.
Hi, I'm Phil. Was living in Australia, but you probably tell from my accent, from the UK, and recently returned back to the UK after participating in Jared's buying an online business course and successfully buying a business.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on not just buying your business, but relocating back home, and having some fun in Australia as well. Like,
Yeah, thank you.
it's been interesting seeing the changes what you were doing back on the Sunshine Coast and before you were living in Newcastle as well in Australia, and then moving over and then taking this education, running with it, and buying a business and still moving over to the UK. There's a lot on your plate, and you've just done so well. So I really want to honor that.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't have genuinely been able to do it without the course. That was the framework and the support as well from yourself and the community that got us to this position now.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's the most important thing, really, is it's like you can get all the education that you need, but it's still scary to do, right? Like, without
Yeah,
having somebody that's done it, it's like, oh man, am I really doing this? And having somebody to nurse you through it, like, I feel like that's the biggest draw card, really.
absolutely. The information is fantastic. The internet is fantastic. It's full of free information, but it's also a downside as well because you can feel lost. And,
Yeah.
and yeah,
So much.
yeah, for me personally, I never quite know whether I'm on the right track. Like, is what I'm watching, is what I'm learning, is this relevant? Is this person actually, coming from a place of competence? So to have someone there that can guide you through that process, have a structure, take you through the lessons themselves, and then give you a springboard to go off and learn from it. It made the process. No, without it, like I say, we definitely wouldn't have bought a business.
Yeah.
We would have still been searching YouTube and Google looking for videos.
YouTube warrior. So many people are still at that stage and do it for years. I was that guy as well, but I didn't go away and invest in myself by hiring a mentor or anything like that. And I went around in circles. And as soon as I did, it was like hockey stick growth is what they call it.
Yeah.
So Phil, where were you at before you got started with us, like in your life? Like, what were you doing, and why did you decide to join?
So I worked in construction as a commercial manager, looking after managing mega infrastructure projects in Australia. And it was a great job, very rewarding, but it was a lot of hard work. When I was younger, I didn't necessarily mind that, but as I got a little bit older and I got kids, I realized how much of my time was spent at work and not with my family. And then I also could project forward, and I could see the people in my company who I used to aspire to be. And as I got closer to them and kind of peeked behind the curtain, you realize it's not quite as glamorous as it looks from afar. And they're just doing more of what I was doing now and that I currently didn't like. So it kind of, it suddenly lost its shine. So I would spend a lot of time trying to think of alternatives. And buying a business was one of the options that I looked at. It was more thinking of an offline business rather than an online business because that whole world just scared me. In fact, I probably hadn't even appreciated that a person like me could make money online. I thought it was just left to the Amazons and the Facebooks of this world. And your advert appeared on Facebook as I was scrolling through one day, and it's something I'd never done before. I actually clicked it and put my details in, my telephone number, which I would never have done previously. So something just spoke out. It just resonated at that right time in my life, and took that chance. I think within a day I'd spoken to a member of your team, and then we caught up, and then that was it.
Yeah. What a click as well, right? Like there's some things that I've done in my life and I'm like, wow, that little thing that I've done has amounted to this.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's,
genuine. It's genuinely life changing. Like
yeah.
that. I often do think back to that time that if I hadn't clicked on that ad, I certainly wouldn't have been looking at online businesses, and I certainly wouldn't be sat here now only one with a I guess a happier vision for my future. That's something I'm now working towards. So yeah, it is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Something.
Well done, man. And this is the thing that I say to a lot of people is like how we do one thing is how we do a lot of things. And like, if we're that person that's like, just lets things go for so long and skeptical about everything, and we don't like, there's two types of skeptics, right? There's people that point the finger and go, no, that can't be true. And then there's others people like, that can't be true. Surely not. And then they go away and research it and find out that it either isn't true or like, hey, presto, it is, which you found.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was
before
definitely
you,
in camp two.
sorry?
I was definitely in camp two. I was that healthy skeptic. I think that I think for me it was this seems too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the catch? Especially when you discover something online, it's on a Facebook ad. You a lot of people make a lot of claims. So you have that natural disbelief that something can work and can be true. So
Yeah, there is so many claims and screenshots and all this type of stuff. And yeah, for everybody listening, even if it's you don't like read into what I do, at least read into what somebody else does, and like dig into it and really like either prove it wrong, or if you can't prove it wrong, it's like you have to do it. And that's like what I say with when we buy businesses, right, Phil, is like you have to do your due diligence so well that if you can't prove the business isn't a good investment, you have to invest.
yeah, absolutely.
So it's been quite life-changing. Like you said, it's quite life-changing for you. Like, how has it changed like different aspects of your life now that you own an online business?
I got a lot busier. That's for sure. I guess at the moment, it's day to day. I still work full time.
Oh, that's why you're so much busier.
Yes, yeah. So eight till 5, focused on work, and then come home, got my family, and then after that, it's crack the laptop open and work. On a weekend and work, and try and squeeze a little bit in work time if it allows. But so, and that was always our plan to buy a business, grow a business, maintain my work, invest all the money the business generates back into the business, to hopefully provide something that is more secure. I guess just feels more secure, more sustainable, longer term. So then, in time, can step back from work and focus fully on buying on running the online businesses.
Yeah. And so how long do you reckon that's going to be? How far away do you feel that may be until you sort of transition?
I think I would like to buy another one. I think I would like to be on the point of buying another business and then step back from it, from work, then to be able to focus on two. This is manageable. It's hard work, and there's not a lot of time for anything else. But that's if you're investing in your future, then it's a sacrifice I'm willing to pay, and I'm sure most other people are.
Yeah.
And it's a case of, I guess, once we finish the course, then that's once like the first step, the first stage of the learning, and then you buy the business, and then there's another 100 steps to learn. So just slowly making our way up those steps, and just doing everything in time, focusing on one thing at a time, trying to master that. Well, become competent at that, and then move forward onto the next. So I think that's just going to be a process we're going to be on for the next year or so, and then we can just take it from there.
Yeah. I dare say to be a process that you're on for the next, for the rest of your life. If you're,
I'd say so, yeah.
And that's the exact same thing that I did. Is I bought my first business and it was manageable whilst I was working, and then I bought another one, and that's when I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to step back now, and I do really believe that's a good strategy. And you mentioned some of the things, like you're a little bit of a skeptic when you like saw my stuff. And you had a little bit of a fear in there, and like also like, oh, is this person like competent or not? Like, am I listening to the right person here? Which is, it's good to hear this feedback, really, for me. And what other sort of like fears or things or challenges or things that were going through your head when you first like were going to start in the beginning, that was kind of holding you back or helping you make the decision to go through with this?
So I think there's probably two things. There's one, like, is this Jared guy real? Does he, does he exist, and has he bought online businesses before? And then two, I mean, that was pretty easy to figure out. And then two, it was, will I get value from the course? No, it was it's at the time it felt like a significant investment. And would I be able to achieve the same results without investing the money? Could I just go and do it myself, basically?
Yeah.
And I was never quite sure of that until I signed up for the course. It was only as I got into the course and I realized that I would never have made the progression I made if I hadn't been in the course. Doing the lessons and in the group as well.
Yeah. So doing that, like, oh, well, can you confirm that I'm a real person now?
Yes. Yeah. I believe so anyway. You're as real as anyone else.
Awesome, man. It's just, I throw that in there because there's so many people like, is this guy legit? Like, and it's a not standard thing online. It's like, how do you know if somebody's like for real? I totally get where we're coming from. It's the same with me when I look at some people that are advertising things or promoting their stuff online. So you jumped in and you started making some progression quite quick, which is really good. You started devouring the lessons. What you mentioned, some of the challenge, like one of the challenges were when you jumped in, information overload, because there's so many lessons and so much to get through. One thing that I mention to people is like, take it one lesson at a time and one step at a time, because it does get overwhelming. Like, you can't, like, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't just go through and learn all the lessons in 1 week or 1 month and like be like, cool, I'm ready to go. But what other challenges, were there any other challenges that you had like during the program?
I think a big one for me, and a big issue, I think, for other people that I've talked with in the group is staying diligent and staying focused and staying consistent. You had that big excitement after you first sign up for the course and you get access to the modules, and you do 2 or 3. And you're super excited, and then life gets busy again and it drops off. I think keeping that consistency is absolutely key. Giving yourself a plan, sticking to the plan, holding yourself accountable. You do have weeks where you drop off slightly, but you got to recognize that in yourself and pick yourself up and get straight back on it. So that was definitely one of the bigger challenges.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, if you jump into the program and you're a human being, like, everyone faces that challenge, because like, doesn't matter who you are, like, you're going to have points where you fall off the bandwagon. It's like going to the gym, right? It's like, you're going to have days that like you don't feel like going, or you're like, you just don't go. The thing is, like, you got to remember your goal of like, hey, I want to lose like 10 kilo or whatever it is. And then if you keep remembering that and keep that in your focus, then the rest like falls into place, I believe, if you do take just little steps of action, like, oh, hey, I'm going to go do the program. I'm so glad you brought that up. And so
I think that's so true with what you just mentioned there. It's little steps. So it's consistently taking little steps every single day. And you'll eventually work towards working through the modules and increasing your learning outside of the course. And you'll make progression where I think that you spend in fits and starts. It can be a lot harder. So that's a critical point. And I think the group as well. The group's great for that. There was a handful of people that got quite close to, and we'd hold each other accountable as well, or they would motivate you because they were further ahead and they were talking about things that I hadn't quite done, and so that in itself as well kept the energy level. So.
Yeah, that's the good thing about it, the group and the community, is that you've got people that you can become friends with, right? You guys had a quite a good group of mates there, and I dare say you're still in contact. But like, you holding each other accountable and like egging each other on, all got the same goal, like the same mission. It's just like, and the posts into the group now, like where people are like posting little things that they're doing, like, you know, cold water therapy type stuff and different things they're doing for their ritual and helping everybody grow in different aspects of their life. It's just like such a growth group, and that support of growth, because growth is hard, like no matter what you do, right? Like having that support, like while you're going through this journey, I feel is like absolutely fundamental.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it should be hard, and it is hard. But having those people around you that can back you up, or be there with support, or just recognize that they also mess up as well.
Yeah,
gives you that. It gives you the desire to carry on.
Yeah,
and the confidence as well, because you see other people progressing. You can do it. I can do it.
That's it. It's the social proof of like, oh, hey, they've done this, like, you know, and they're just like me. Of course I can do this. That's a huge thing. And so what was your experience throughout the program? Like, what did you like about it? And what did you like working with me as well? What about all of that? Did you really gravitate towards and enjoy?
Yeah. So the group again, the modules are, in my eyes, they were work. I sat with my laptop, pen and paper, watched them, made notes, and went off and did further study. That was just grinded through that. But I really enjoyed the social element of the group, the support, the links, the videos, not just on buying online businesses, but on personal development, growth, inspirational videos, just general crack as well. It was it was great. I was the first time actually I was very active in a group. Normally I would be more passive, or just focus on the work element of it. But the community was fantastic.
Awesome.
And then working with yourself as well. I mean, you were there throughout. From the very start of setting goals, establishing the rituals first, then setting goals, then checking in, and you're always there for feedback. To the point of just before buying the business, when I identified the business, sending you the information, going through my due diligence, offering feedback and support, and right up to the purchase point. So and now this as well. So
yeah, that's a really big thing, is like the support, and like when you're submitting your business that you're looking to buy, right, and you're giving me all the information, me coming away and reviewing it and giving you notes and things, extra things you can ask and find out about the business. What was that helpful to you? Like, and if so, how was it helpful? Because I know that a lot of people I want to buy a business, but like they don't want to buy it alone type thing, right? They want like can give them feedback on the businesses they're looking at? Like, how did that help you?
Oh, it was massively helpful. So if you think, I mean, we're applying the theory we've learned over the X number of months. I've never done it before, so you've no benchmark to assess what good is it. What good is. So I did my due diligence, and to me, it seemed okay. But you were able to confirm that and to identify areas that I hadn't thought of or things to look out for. So it just builds that confidence. It's a big deal to invest money you've saved up a long time for. So the more comfortable you can feel in that process, the better it is. So it was actually one of the I think for me, one of the most beneficial parts of the course was that ratification that you also thought it was a good deal, and then I could progress forward comfortably, because I would have always been. I may not have even gone through with it if when it came to actually putting my cash on the table.
Yeah, for sure. And there's people that do submit deals that aren't so good, and you're like, mate, I just send them back to the drawing board. I actually had one of the guys submit something to me that was just no good at all. And I was like, let's do a training on this with yourself so you can see, and I can show the rest of the group why it's no good, and just not go for these types of businesses. So my biggest thing is, like, I don't want somebody to go buy a business and have done my, be a part of the group, done my training and everything like that, and it be a bad investment. That's just make me feel absolutely horrible. So that's why I want to make sure I do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we're all here to do, to buy good businesses.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, your success is my success, right? This is like this is why I do what I do, is because I'm like, I want to see you guys in that position where you're changing your life as well. And that's the essence of why I do it. Like, a lot of people are like, why don't you just go and buy more businesses? I'm like, yeah, I can do that, but you don't get the same level of fulfillment. More money doesn't make you more happier when you get to a certain level.
I think that was my question. I was like, what's this guy Jared doing? Why is he going to teach me how to do it?
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Yeah. So somebody thinking about joining, like, if somebody's thinking about it and looking at it, like, what would you say to them if they're sitting on the fence or something?
So see, if you're genuinely serious about putting the hard work in that it takes to learn how to buy an online business, but then also run a business, then do it. But you must be honest with yourself, because it's not for the faint-hearted. And if you aren't going to put the work in, just keep your money and put it in the bank or spend it on whatever you so choose. It's hard work, and it's effort, and it doesn't stop once you buy the business. Certainly in my experience anyway, it just becomes more work. So if you are willing to do that, and you are honest with yourself, and you've got the time, but also the long-term commitment that fits in with your current lifestyle, then by all means jump on in. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. You will get out what you put in from it.
Yeah, I love that. You will get out what you put in. And I love that you said it's hard work, because to have your regular life and then to go, all right, I'm going to change it completely. It's not like something that's just going to happen overnight and it's going to be easy. Like, you need to dedicate some time aside to study the lessons, take notes, absorb the information. And that's just one part of it. Taking action is a completely different part. So yeah, it takes work. And if you're not serious about this, like get real, go away and spend your money on different types of entertainment that don't get you to where you want to go.
Exactly. But if you are serious, then I guess I'm testament that it is life-changing, and in a relatively short period of time. I mean, I think I started the course in September and I bought the business in March, so in less than 6 months.
Yeah, wow.
That hard work hopefully is paid off.
Yeah, man, congratulations. So 6 months, you studied it, I remember speaking to you like, yeah, I want to get this done. You had you wanted to get it done by a certain time and moving and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you bought your first business. So what's your business, Phil?
So we sell natural, premium, hypoallergenic dog food, dog treats, and salmon oil. So it's all about the taking care of dogs through what they eat.
And selling salmon and high quality food is so good because for your dog, longevity of your dog, health of your dog, has a better lifestyle. There's so many benefits to it. So I love that business model because it's not going anywhere and you're only going to develop and grow. So congrats on that. And so how much money were you bought the business, and how much money were you making from the business when you first got started? I remember you sent me a message and I was just like, oh, in your first week, how much you made in the first week? And I was like, wow, that's awesome. So how much was it that you made in your first week from the business?
So normally the business turns over 12,000 Australian a week, week in, week out.
Yep.
And our first week we had a promotion and we did 14 in just over 2 days. So it's a fantastic start.
That's an amazing start. To think that you went in September and then you started learning, and then 6 months later you're making 14K your first week from a business. That's quite a leap, and that's quite massive. How does that actually feel to know that you're just regularly turning over 12K Aussie, and then you do a little promo and you get an extra 2, and then that regular income of roughly 12K. How does that actually feel knowing that you have that and what's in stock for the future? How does that feel?
It's absolutely amazing. It's got to pinch myself at times. I've actually got I did have the Shopify app on my phone, but I had to turn it off because I just couldn't concentrate at work, because every time it buzzed, I had my phone open, I was looking at the orders and who ordered it. They were a first-time customer, so I had to turn it off. But it's just a great feeling. It's so exciting it feels great to know what we've worked hard for over the last 6 months has come to fruition, and then it's very exciting to plan for the future as well. It's been an amazing feeling. Yeah, and now it just comes with the focus changes. So that's great. We got that locked in, and how do we move forward? So unfortunately, I think if you're always moving forward, you only stay hold of that satisfaction for a little bit, and then you're constantly trying to look forward to how do you secure that
and grow on it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the cool thing about having a growth mindset, is that you've got this base now, and you can improve it and grow on it, and then you're going to shift to the next level. But the way I see it is, before you first started, you were just working your job and you're making, what was it, 1,500 Aussie a week, or 2K Aussie a week or something?
2.5 Aussie.
Yeah. So 2.5 to 12K. It's massive.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's huge.
And you still got your job. You got a transfer. Was it a transfer that you got over to the UK?
I couldn't know. Yeah, it was supposed to be a transfer, but where we moved back to, they no longer operate out of. So it would mean life on the road, which defeats the object of coming home. So left that company, came back to a new company. But yeah, we're working full time and managing the business.
Yeah. So you got your full time gig, and then you got this business. So what's next to come? You mentioned you're going to buy another business.
Yeah, so the reason for getting into this was to provide financial security, I guess, for myself and my family.
Yeah.
So this is our first step towards that, and the aim is to, with this business, to grow the business, invest its net profit back into the business, and then buy another business and hopefully buy more businesses from there to have multiple income streams, and then we can invest that money elsewhere and hopefully just become as secure as possible.
Awesome, man. And so you mentioned you're working your regular job, and you're doing this in the evening. So how many hours per week do you spend on this business to make that, that money that you're making per week already? Without and that's just maintaining it. That's like without growing it. Like how?
Yeah, so probably about 2 hours a night, 4 days a week, and then maybe 3 or 4 hours over a weekend, which pretty much takes up, when you throw the kids in there and work and household chores, takes up most of the time. Although I must say, my wife, part of the reason we bought the business as well is got 2 young kids. So rather than my wife going to work, my wife now runs the day-to-day operational side of the business. So between the two of us, we manage it. But it has a huge plus side in that my wife can run the business around our kids. So
yeah. So you probably spend 2 hours per night. So that's 10 hours a week. So you probably spend about 13 hours per week on the business. So it's roughly just under $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, not
bad. The way I look at it, and then eventually, I dare say you're going to automate that business to a certain level, and we're going to talk about that pretty soon. How we can do that, automate that business to a certain level, I guess, and then buy another one. And the goal is to have that lifestyle, right? So, how many hours do you want to be working per week after you've bought your second business and keep buying businesses? Like, what's your sort of lifestyle work hour goal?
A lot less than what we're currently working now. I think I'll always be a person that I think you can either fall into, well, from my limited knowledge anyway, you can kind of fall into the two camps. There's one set of, there's the first camp that likes the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
Wants to do as little as possible. I'll probably fall more into the second camp, that I do generally like work and like the rewards from it, and I like the challenges that come with it, and the problem solving. So I would like to always retain that. And plus I've got 2 kids, so which beach am I going to go and live under? So that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I always wanted to be involved in the business, but with a lot less hours and with the flexibility then, so I can organize the work around my life rather than how it was the opposite previously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if we're working, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours a week, that would be a significant improvement. And if it comes with the financial benefits and the flexibility as well, it's a huge win.
Yeah, massive win. So all in all, a massive congratulations, Phil. Like, I'm so grateful for the effort that you put in. And like you said at the start, like you get, like in life, right? And in the program and anything you do, what you put in, you always get out, and you've gotten it out in droves. And I just want to congratulate you for that. All in all, like, how would you sum up this whole sort of experience, and how is this, what does this mean to you?
I'm not overplaying it when I say it's life-changing. If I hadn't clicked on the link, then I would have returned home and continued to do what I'd always done, and my life would be no different and wouldn't be heading in a different direction. Hopefully this is that sliding doors moment where it's going to take a slightly different path, much to mine and my family's long-term benefits.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations. Thanks so much for coming on and giving me the feedback and giving everybody else the feedback. I do greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
yeah, thank you, Jared. Thanks again.
Thank you.